Victoria from Victoria's Family Kitchen, Cooking with Love. And I'm here with my family, Jasmine, Ariana, Rachel, and my husband, Romel. And join our family as we take culinary adventures and bring you to our family kitchen. And remember, always have fun in the kitchen and cook with love. Welcome to Victoria's Family Kitchen, Cooking with Love, the Thanksgiving special. We're here at the beautiful Walkerton Tavern off of Mountain Road via the Glen Allen Cultural Arts Community Center. Let's go inside, take a look, and cook up some awesome Thanksgiving foods. Are we ready, family? Yeah! Alright, so let's get started. So the first component to our Thanksgiving meal is going to be a compound butter. A garlic herb infused compound butter. And what Jasmine and I are going to do is show you some key tricks to get it done. You ready, Jazz?
Yes!
Alright, so first you want to make sure you have your butter. It can be unsalted, but if you have salted, that's completely fine. So Jasmine, you want to unwrap that butter, and she's going to pour it into the bowl. And while Jasmine's doing that, the reason why we want to use a compound butter is because it adds flavoring to the turkey. What we're going to do with this butter is we're going to mix in all these fresh herbs and dried herbs, and we're going to mix it together, roll it up, put it in the fridge, let it firm up, and put it under the skin and on top of the skin of the turkey, which is going to help it have this wonderful juicy flavorings. So you got that? Good job. Alright, so Jazzy put our butter in our bowl.
Make sure you don't eat butter.
Make sure you don't eat it yet. That's right, because you want to save it. Alright, so then we have our seasonings. You can put any of your favorite seasonings in the compound butter. What we're using today is dried oregano, dried thyme, garlic powder, onion powder, and then also a mixture of Italian seasonings, like rosemary as well. So Jasmine, you want to take all those seasonings and pour it into the bowl?
Like this.
Yep, you can pour it up and just make sure everything gets in. Good job. Awesome. Alright, so now I'm going to get our fresh herbs. So what we have here, once again, you can choose any of your fresh favorite herbs. We have parsley, some diced up garlic, some fresh chives, and then some fresh dill. It smells really good. Smell it. Dill is one of my favorite herbs. Alright, so I'm going to get Jazzy to take the fork out of the bowl for me. Good job. And so I'm just going to cut up some fresh parsley. You can use flat leaf or curly parsley, whichever you can find or whichever you like the best. One can be stronger than the other. So
and you can use these to make a salad.
You can use them to make a salad. That's right. Fresh herbs is a key to a nice, beautiful, fresh tasting salad. So good job, Jasmine. And we're going to cut up some more of this fresh parsley. I like to cut up the stems and all, the leaves and the stems, because sometimes it's just easier and quicker in the kitchen. All right, so let's go on to our fresh chives. These give a nice little oniony flavor. You can make sure that they're all lined up and then just start cutting them up like that. Smells good, doesn't it, Jazz?
Yes.
Fresh herbs make everything smell good.
It smells gooder than the building.
Then we're gonna go to my favorite herb. Oh my goodness, dill.
So smelly.
Fresh dill. We can bunch that up together and start chopping.
Can I do it?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you put the garlic in.
Oh,
that smells so good.
I'm gonna take one in my mouth.
You wanna put one in your mouth? It's really strong to put in your mouth all by itself though. It's good to mix it up together. All right, then we're gonna get Jazzy to put in our fresh garlic.
With my hand?
Yeah, you just pour it in. There you go.
It looks like a salad.
It kind of does look like a salad, a butter salad.
Yeah.
That would be good though. Good job. All right, now what Jasmine's gonna do is use the fork and she's gonna mash it all together. There you go. And you wanna make sure that your butter is softened at room temperature. That's okay. That's okay. Keep on mixing it. That is okay.
It's stuck.
Yeah, and Mom's gonna help you. You wanna make sure that your room temperature butter. That's good. Slow it down. So with the kids in the kitchen, you wanna try to remind them to slow it down, right? And the reason why we're mashing this with the fork is because we want to help incorporate the flavors of everything that we put in. Yep. So you want to do it slow. Say, take it slow.
Take it slow.
Say, take it slow.
Take it slow.
There you go. So you just mash it, rub it, just rub it together gently.
Make sure you don't touch your eyes when you're doing it.
All right. Yeah, we got it. So that's a beautiful consistency. So what we're going to do is we're going to scrape the rest of that off the fork. If you could put that to the side for me. And then you can either get plastic wrap like we have here, or you can use wax paper. And we're going to just roll this out. Yeah, just leave it like that. And you hold that in for me. And Jazz is gonna hold that still. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna transfer this from the bowl to the plastic wrap, and we're gonna shape it into a log. This is why I say the rubber spatula is one of the best tools in the kitchen, because it's multi-purpose and it just clears everything up. You know, we don't like to waste. We like to get everything out of there that we can. So we have that flattened, and now we're gonna be gentle with it. It's okay, and you're gonna let it go. And you use your clean hands and fingers. And we're gonna roll this over. And what we wanna do is tuck this underneath. So we're gonna roll that and then tuck it to the side. That's good, good job.
Like this?
Not yet, good job. And then I'm gonna pat it down. And then what we're gonna do is we are going to roll it. So we're gonna roll it. We're gonna roll it. There we go. And then Jasmine, hold it right there for me. And then you can let go. And Jasmine's gonna watch your finger, and you can put this aside. And then we're gonna roll it again. I want you to roll that all the way up, Jasmine. Just roll it to the side. There you go, good job. And then I'm gonna take it, and what we're gonna do is we wanna kinda encase it and twist it. Kinda like when you see the sausages, and you can just keep going like that and just roll it. And eventually, it'll roll up. There you go. And so you're gonna let this sit in the fridge for maybe 1 to 2 hours to firm up. And then it's gonna be ready to slice to put under the skin and on top of the skin of your turkey. That's it. Wasn't that easy?
Yes.
Oh yeah, and it smells good. You ready? Let's go move on to the next step, all right?
There is something to be said about the man that chooses the road less traveled. Those roads represent the map of my life and are the fabric of MTK Premier Auto Boutique. With passion comes a mindset. Defy odds, break down barriers, run through obstacles. Automobiles are my passion, and servicing you is my mission. Economy, sport, luxury, exotic or classic, regardless of your choice, when it comes to purchasing an automobile, all roads lead to MTK. Quality, convenience, excellence. I am Mike Wiggins, and I am your personal auto consultant.
Hundreds of customers have relied on us to get their vehicles moving again. We're reliable and dependable. We're Locks and Flats. Thank you for choosing us.
Thanks, Locks and Flats, for all your help.
Welcome back. Now it's time for Rachel and I to show you how to make a garlic herb butter mashed potatoes from scratch. So what we did first was we peeled our white potatoes. You can also use russet potatoes. We peeled those and then cubed them and boiled them in warm water or hot water because it's boiling.
And we put them in the microwave.
And then we put the garlic pieces inside the boiled water. And then, hold on, then we just saved some of our water, right? We just saved a little bit of water from it because we're not going to use any milk. And so what we're going to do now is, hold on, we're going to get Rachel. You want to make sure the potatoes are warm. And Rachel is very anxious and excited, we can tell. She's going to chop up our butter, unsalted butter, and then she's going to place it in our warm mashed potatoes. Good job. While Rachel puts that in there, is it stuck? Oh, that's okay, look. You got to use your hands.
Sorry.
That's okay. All right, finish chopping that up. And Mommy's going to add our fresh herbs.
Do this with tiny.
Come we're gonna use our fresh herbs that we use, using the same items that we already had in stock. It's all about doing the best you can with what you have and making it taste good and having fun with your family in the kitchen. So that was our fresh chives. You can put as many herbs in it as you want. Some people like a little bit of herbs. Some people like a lot of herbs. And some people like a nice medium in between.
They are getting more sturdy than you were.
They are, because you have that sticky butter. And it's good, you know, to kind of have your butter at room temperature. It just makes things a lot easier.
It's fun.
It is fun. Chopping up the parsley with my scissors. Don't eat that butter. Put that butter in those potatoes. There you go. Come on, you got it?
I got it on me.
That's okay. All right, finish up chopping up the rest of it. And then our fresh dill. Rachel, have you smelled the fresh dill today?
It smells like pecans.
Pecans? You mean it smells like pickles?
Pickles.
Like dill pickles?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what they put in the dill pickle solution. So I'm gonna get these herbs together. You got it. I'm gonna chop these up, stem it all. Rachel's having a little fun over there with that messy butter.
Yeah. I like messy butter.
You like messy butter?
On my hand, and I like to look it.
Oh, licking butter. Butter is really strong. I like to mix it together. All right, so Rachel, how you doing with that butter?
Don't okay, sticky.
All right, so once we finish getting in the butter and these fresh herbs, we're gonna add in our dried herbs and our other seasonings and some diced up garlic that we have. All right, so Rachel, good job. All right, so what Rachel's gonna do is now Rachel's going to not lick her knife. I'm gonna put this to the side. Rachel's gonna take all of our herbs, dried herbs that we have here in spices. So we have some of the same dried herbs. We have our garlic powder, onion powder, oregano, fresh thyme. No, I'm just gonna pour it in. Just dump it in and some garlic.
Can I take a
Yep. Yeah, you can take a pinch. There you go. She likes to take pinches. There you go. And some kosher salt. And a little bit of dried Italian seasonings. Good job. And you can just pour all of it in there now. Woo! She's quick. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some whole milk Greek yogurt. It's gonna give us that richness that we're looking for. So why don't you pour that in? You just pour it like that, okay? Good job.
How fast we're doing this?
Pretty fast.
Do we go home and eat this?
Yeah, we can. Uh-oh, I don't want to flake Mr. Tony. I like a lot of fresh ground black pepper, but you know, the kids, it may be a little too spicy for them, so I'm not gonna go too much into it. And then a little bit of olive oil. The olive oil and the Greek yogurt adds a little richness to it.
I wanna do it.
We're gonna pour it gently because you don't want to lie. All right, that's good. All right, so like I said, we left a little bit of water in from which we boiled the potatoes in.
And put it in the microwave.
Well, if you need to heat up your potatoes, if they sat for a little while and they cool down, Rachel's right. You can put it in the microwave just for a little while to heat it up. Do is, after we mash them a little bit, we're just gonna do circular motion.
You can take it off with your fingers.
Yeah, there you go.
Obviously.
All right, and hold on. And then, just gonna do that circular motion again. And that also lets me feel how many big chunky potatoes we have left in there when you do that circular motion. You can.
It tastes like sugar.
No, it doesn't taste like sugar. It tastes like mashed potatoes. All right, now this is the way our family, mainly my husband, likes his mashed potatoes, a little chunky. So we don't want to make it soupy. So we're gonna leave it there the way it is real quick. Good job, Rach.
It tastes like burgers.
No, it doesn't. And smell it. It smells good.
Yeah.
So that was good. All right, so the thing that really made this pop too, of course, is the fresh herbs, the fresh dill, fresh chives, but also that kosher salt. Kosher salt can make it pop. Salt brings out the flavor. Pepper changes the flavor. Now, we added just enough, and so these potatoes, guess what? They're good to go, and Rachel wants to taste some more. Don't double dip. And that's it for our garlic herb mashed potatoes.
Hundreds of customers have relied on us to get their vehicles moving again. We're reliable and dependable. We're Locks and Flats. Thank you for choosing us.
Thanks, Locks and Flats, for all your help.
Ethan Evans here, and I'm here in front of Trevinia Wine and Bar. I'm excited to announce the start of Henrico Restaurant Week 2018. Let's take a look inside.
The event benefits the Henrico Police Athletic League. Visit HenricoRestaurantWeek.com for details.
This ability serves families who have children with special needs. We provide playgroups, workshops, online support groups, the ABC Anti-Bully Club, Christmas Assistance Program, and more.
Hi, I'm Faith, the founder of the Anti-Bullying Club. We are creating more awareness about bullying and building self-esteem to help prevent suicide and other mental health issues caused by bullying. And if you see someone down, become their friend and stop the bullying trend.
All right, so let's get down to it. Let's get this turkey good and ready for Thanksgiving. So what we have here is a young turkey. It's about 15 pounds. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the kids put all the veggies around it and inside the cavity, because you wanna make sure you put everything inside the cavity as well to have more flavorings. All right, so Ariana's gonna sprinkle the garlic around, and then she's gonna put some inside. And if you notice, we have some gloves on the kids just for, extra safety reasons. Good job. And she's gonna sprinkle that around. And while she's doing that, Jasmine's gonna sprinkle the chopped up carrots all around the pan, yep. And then also inside the cavity of the bird. And Rachel, you have your red onions. You can use red onions, white onions, or yellow onions to put inside this dish. Good job. Just around, nothing on top. There you go. I'm just gonna put it around. There you go, nothing on top of the bird, but inside, there you go. And this is fun for the kids to do because, like I said, put the gloves on and then they should just have fun decorating the turkey pan and inside the turkey. I'm loosening up the skin. You see how you see that butter knife coming through the top right there? You see? I got that under there, loosen up the skin. So all you need is a butter knife, loosening up the skin, loosening up the skin. There you go, there you go. And then you even want to loosen it up underneath the legs. There you go. All right, so once we've got that loosened up, we are going to ask Daddy to get the compound butter that we have, and he's gonna start chopping that up just into parts where he's gonna slick it underneath the skin. All right. Good job. All right. That's that compound butter that we made. It's full. Yeah, Rachel wants to see it. Look, that's awesome. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Good job. That's set up very nicely. Not right now, so now we're just gonna put it in.
If it tastes so good, we don't let it in the trash.
But we gotta cook it. We gotta cook it. You don't eat raw meat.
Or you'll get sick.
You will.
Or die. That looks good.
Look at that. See all those fresh herbs in there? Oh
and I made it too.
Yes, you did. So I'm gonna slice that. Look at that. This one is a little softer. So I'm gonna put some up here as well. And I wanna kind of make it like cake on a little bit. But don't eat it. And you can spread it on top, just like that.
You can touch it.
You can use that butter knife and spread it on, just like that. Spread it on, just like that. Watch
Mommy, I touched it with my glove.
And then I'm gonna go on to this side and get it on. And I'm gonna turn this around. I'm gonna put some on my side. You see, I'm taking that, I'm lifting up the skin. See that hole right there? And I'm putting it in right there. See, I'm massaging it in. And it's a very messy job, but somebody's gotta do it. All right. All right, so once we got that going there, and like I said, it's gonna look like it's not sticking for a while, but it'll stick. Dad, you got a lot more compound butter over there. Let's put some more under those cavities. It's really important that you put all of it inside the cavities.
Make sure you take your time.
That's right, make sure you take your time. Loves making our own seasoning blend. So we have our same little seasoning blend that we have here, mixing that up.
That looks great, Mommy.
Oh, well, thank you. You guys did a good job. So then I'm just gonna sprinkle this on top. I added a little bit of curry powder to it. It's kosher salt, curry powder, paprika, dried oregano, dried thyme, dried rosemary, onion and garlic powder.
Now that sounds good.
Yeah, that paprika and curry powder, just a little bit of it.
With
paprika, give it a good, yeah. And you can also season the bottom of the bird as well.
That looks so cute. Oh, Dad got his ring.
Yeah.
Dirty.
Oh, that's okay. We're gonna season that up, and also be sure to season the inside of the cavity. Just throw a few seasonings in there.
What's the cavity?
That big hole that you put all the veggies in. And sprinkle some of the seasons on the veggies.
Even on the top of the egg.
Good job. And that compound butter, along with that olive oil that we're gonna sprinkle on top, is gonna give it a nice brown crust, because Mr. Lucky does not like soggy baked chicken. And that's when I realized, that I can crisp it up in the oven, because I wanted to make it the way he liked it. So we started putting it on a high heat and adding the compound butter to the top and the olive oil, and it'll help keep it crispy and brown.
Peppers.
Now you remember I said I like ground black pepper. And while Daddy's doing that, I'm gonna take some chicken broth and I'm just gonna pour it in the bottom of the pan, and that's gonna help make the drippings even better.
If it was...
This big boy is ready to go. We're gonna put it on about 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Since this is a 15-pound turkey, it's gonna be in the oven for about 2 hours and 45 minutes to maybe 3 hours and 20 minutes. And the good thing about these turkeys nowadays is that they have the thermometers inside. The red part will pop open when it's done. 165 degrees Fahrenheit is the safe temperature for you to eat turkeys when they are completely done and safe to eat. So we're gonna pop this in the oven, like I said, at 375. And after the first hour, we're gonna baste it for maybe every 20 to 30 minutes from the juices that's in there, and also even if we have some extra broth to pour on top. So let's get going and let's go make our giblet gravy. This week's spotlight goes to Layla Joseph from Next Up RVA's Lucille Brown Middle School Enrichment Program, Cooking with Victoria's Kitchen. Way to go, Layla, on your chicken parmesan dish.
Give me an egg, got hit by the UFO. Daddy got hit by the UFO. I win.
Alright, so let's get started on our homemade giblet gravy. So the first step you want to take in making your gravy is that you want to get the drippings from your turkey. It's lots of flavor in there. So all of the juice that's left over in your turkey pan, pour it into a bowl, and you want to make sure you separate the fat from the tasty drippings. Now the fat usually goes to the top, and you want to skim that off while the good tasting drippings are at the bottom. And a quick trick to do that is to take those drippings that you poured in the bowl, stick it in the freezer for a couple of minutes, and the fat will rise to the top and it will solidify. So we want to skim that fat off the top. You see that? We just want to skim all that off because we just want the good drippings. Skim that right off. See how easy that fat comes off? You don't want that fat, you just want the drippings. And I'm actually gonna also go like this and get it in there. And it's also, of course, easier to do it with a spoon, but I didn't bring my spoon up with me. So I'm gonna use my rubber spatula. And you see how it's separated? I'm gonna pour that fat. It's solidified, which makes it easier to separate. Move that fat aside. All of that is goodness right there. You see that goodness? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have this on a medium-high heat. And we're gonna take our drippings and we're just gonna pour it in our saucepan. And then I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. That's gonna be our extra flavor. All right, so what we wanna do is have that going real nice and good. Nice and warm. And you see how even though it was cold from freezing it, and heat it up very quickly. We're going to be pouring it in and stirring constantly. You want to make sure you stir constantly so that you don't get as many clumps as possible. Clumps do happen, but you just want to try your best. We're making a nice roux. That's that basic base for the gravy. Now this is a part of the recipe to where you can add more flour, add more of your drippings. It just depends on how much and what consistency you're looking for. So your flour is what thickens it. Now the broth is a homemade giblet broth. So what I did was I took the turkey neck and the giblets and I poured it in a pan and made sure it was covered with about 2 inches of water and boiled it for about 45 minutes. And it created a giblet broth, and I'm going to be using that to thin out this gravy. And then we cut the giblets up and chop them. Some people like chunky giblet gravy. Some people like it finely diced. Like I said, you want to use all-purpose flour. Don't worry about it burning. Just keep on stirring. Get that nice roux going. It's like a nice thick paste. You see that nice thick paste? That's what you're looking for. And I think that's going to be right now all the flour I want, since I got a nice... I saved the broth from our giblet gravy. You can tap it to get some of that out of there. It does get a little sticky and chunky. Just continue to tap it the best you can. And it's going to start to create that gravy. There we go. I'm going to break that up. And like I said, it is better if you use it in a deep saucepan. I'm going to add much, and I'm going to turn this up a little bit to closer to a higher heat. It's on a medium heat right now, and we're going to get that going up. Now, while this is getting itself together, I'm going to keep whisking. The key is you have to keep whisking and whisking. This is going to work your muscles here. You have to make sure that you whisk it all together, because that's what it's going to incorporate everything together and help make it nice and smooth. You see how it's smoothing out? Now, it's still pretty thick, so I'm going to add more broth. And like I said, it is really good if you use a deep pan. That way it'll stay within the pot when you're mixing it together. I'm going to continue to whisk and add more broth, but now I'm going to put in a little flavorings. You don't really want to add salt to this right now, because you got to remember that this is the broth that was left over from your giblet water, and then also you have drippings left over from the turkey, which also has salt in it because you seasoned the turkey. So look how nicely that is. It's still kind of thick. I want to just thin it out a little bit more. All right, so now I'm going to add some dried herbs. You can add fresh or dry herbs to it. Give it a little more flavor. There's some ground black pepper, freshly ground black pepper. You know how I like my ground black pepper. Just a little bit. Don't want to make it too spicy for the kids. And I'm going to combine that together. Like I said, if you feel that you need to add a little more salt to it, that's okay, but I'm not going to, because we already had salt. Add a little bit of Worcestershire sauce in it. I never know how to say that. Worcestershire sauce. Giblets, they don't look like much, but this is your flavor right here. And then we ripped off as much meat from the neck as possible. So we're gonna get little Miss Ariana to come over here. Get a little bit, slowly. There you go. And the kids are learning. Good job. Good job. There you go. Good job. All right, you can take that back over there. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to turn this off. And folks, there we have it. You can let that simmer for a little bit longer, but that is as simple as it gets for your homemade giblet gravy. Well, that's it for this episode of Victoria's Family Kitchen Cooking with Love, the Thanksgiving episode. From our family to yours, we hope that you have an awesome and wonderful Thanksgiving with your family and friends. Happy Thanksgiving!